Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Steve, and I'm trying to go over the virtual properties, sales, recruiting, CRM, and anybody that's involved in interviews in any way, shape, or form needs to tune in on this and try to figure out the what I think is the best practices for this. And so I'm going to show you how you can almost know what to do every day from a sales standpoint on how you can stay on top of your prospects. And so there's a lot of other videos that will come forthcoming, but this is, I think, the introductory one, and this is kind of what we had in mind. Before I do this, I think it might be best if I jump over to our leads CRM, because a lot of the ideas and a lot of the training we're getting on what best practices are coming from this world where these CRMs are managing agents. And so over here, just keep in mind that the standard is when an agent gets a lead, they're supposed to call it within 5 minutes. Certainly within hours, things happen. They could be in listing presentations showing, but we want to see a lot of 5 minute jobs going. And we definitely, if it's not a couple of days, so in this particular one, hopefully you can see this cursor of mine. See in the upper right hand corner, this is a new lead. This came in 2 minutes ago, so I don't blame Andrew Kim for not calling yet. This one came in 11 minutes ago, and Herbie has not called yet, but that's fine. So neither one of them have, 2 minutes. This one's been 4 hours, and no one's called it. So that's not good in this world here. Our world is not quite as strict, but I think we should try to stay as close to their standard as possible, that you should call within a few minutes. I just got off the phone with a company that guarantees me, they give us some kind of a gas card or something like that, if they didn't call them within 90 seconds every time that the lead comes in. They would guarantee that. So this is the next best thing. At least attempt to call it and change the record indicating you've at least attempted to call it. Probably means that they left a message or just no answer or something like that. So this is another attempted to call, but here we go again. So now we have 21 hours and no change of status. This is when people, if they do this in this program, they get eliminated from the program. They're basically fired from the team, and so that it's really kind of unexcusable. I may have called them, but just hadn't changed the record yet. But everyone thinks they haven't changed the record. This one's been contacted. Green is good. Okay, so new and red is not good. That's an alert, and that's been over 1 day. It looks like. We'll keep going down. Look at all these that have not been contacted. Virtual properties paying $5 each. And it says if you don't call within 5 minutes or certainly within an hour, that lead has just been diminished immensely. And look at all these leads not called. Not called. Okay, so this is inexcusable if you ask me right here. And then, so we're carrying a very similar, not exact, but very similar culture right here in our pipeline. So I want to show you how you can use the sorting and filtering mechanism. Filtering is when I come in here and I say I'm Billy. I'm gonna pick on Billy a little bit. Not picking on you, buddy. Promise you, because it doesn't matter who comes up here. It kind of all looks the same, even if it's Jamie or Sandra or Diane. Everyone has these news, so I'm not picking on anybody. We all got a lot of work to do, and but I'm very pleased with what everyone's been doing lately. So all in all, I'm pleased, but I'm going to try to say, let's take a step forward. I think once you get this video, you kind of know what to do. I think everyone's going to be doing it. So first thing you want to do is sort out everybody else, because it gets kind of messy when everyone else is there. The next thing you want to do is you want to work on one status at a time. So if you, this is almost like a daily to-do list. If you are Monday through Friday, this is what you do every morning and throughout the day. You want to make sure all news don't stay new very long, because as you saw that last one, if a news stays new for a while, it looks like I'm just being honest, those people that, oops, I don't want to do that. All those people that have news after 24 and 48 hours, you think, man, what a slackard. And so you basically, I say, here's another tip. Always try to keep what's up top, the most recent. So if you sort it here, you got the most recent as coming in. I think that's the best way to work, from the most recent. And if you've already been late, then that's fine. But we want to get in the habit of calling them as soon as possible. And now you've only the salesperson, And now what we're going to do is we want to make sure no news are left. So we're going to call all these news. We make a call, and then we have to go show full details. After I've called them, it's going to change the status. The next drop down is attempted to contact. We want to make that. We don't want to put attempted contact if we don't, in fact, attempt to contact them. But we want to make a contact, and then we want to make a quick note. I left a message, or I called and they didn't answer. It's just something to change it back to new. Hopefully, we contact them, and then I don't know why we would leave it contacted, but we could say I've contacted them. They told me to call back later. Okay, so definitely put contact if you actually communicate with them. But a note is probably is probably warranted so remember what the heck happened. I said I contacted, but what did we talk about? And so everyone else is trying to figure out what happened as well. And then hopefully you say interview scheduled, and we'll talk about that as well. This thing goes on to where you could actually even say junk. It was just a junk lead, no response, no interest. They had no interest. They wouldn't respond. You tried and tried, no response, on hold, and so forth. So I want to go back. Let's go back to the inquiry. So just so you're picking up the concept, you want to use sort and filter. I always want to sort it. First of all, I'm always kind of obsessive about trying to work from the most recent records and then work our way down. Now, this time I'm going to pull out Sandra this time so Billy doesn't think I'm picking on him. And so you want to pick yourself out. I'm not picking on you either, Sandra. And then you want to go through the news. And as you can see, everybody in this whole group has news. So it's not just one or the other. And no, so I think now people are going to understand it. Then after let's say you logged in, you got no news. All right, well then what's the next thing we work on? Well, the next thing was to do the drop-down box. This is the second priority, attempted to contacts. Go here and kind of do this. I want to make sure, again, I want to have the most recent record. And Sandra doesn't have that many attempted to contacts. You are always going to continue to contact them in a reasonable manner. I'm not going to talk about in this video what's the most appropriate, how many times we call them. Is it every day? Is it twice a day? Is it 3 times a day? Is it every other day? We'll talk about this other times, but we want to continue to try to contact them in what you think is the most reasonable manner until we have a clear definition on this. And we'll probably work together to create a definition. But, at some point in time, then let's just say you do contact them, then put a record in there. I'm going to show you a little bit how to do that in a second, and hopefully appoint interview scheduled, and obviously. So first priority, second priority, third priority. Once you've got the interview scheduled, it's not really that much of a priority. Let's just say that after a while, I do think we'll probably have the no responsive. Does that mean we never talk to them again? I'm thinking we at least try to call them maybe once a month, maybe every 2 weeks. We'll decide this again in a group mastermind session. I'll let you guys have as much input on this as we can. But so the culture is this. It starts as a target. It becomes an inquiry. It becomes an interview, and it becomes a join. I want you to think in terms of kind of an obsession with moving it from left to right, trying to enter as many of these on the cuff as you possibly can, and then moving it from up to down. From new, you want to get out of new status as much as possible because new is really the worst place you want it. Then attempted, the attempted could stay that way for possibly a week or even 2 weeks or several days. I don't know. Ultimately, you want to at least try to contact them, obviously set an interview. So that's kind of the culture from left to right to up to down. Let's do this. I just want to make sure you know that you can add your own inquiry, which you should be doing. I beg you guys to add these inquiries because this is so important for us to keep records of this, and so you can manage these people, because if you're writing on little pieces of paper, those pieces of paper get lost. The second biggest reason why we want you to load these inquiries, this is very, very important, please hear me, is that we pay the ambassador program based on the first person to load that record. Our agents, our ambassadors, load the record by clicking the red button. The red button is all in our thing. And we say if you load that red button before a staff member talks to them, then it's your ambassador. But the point of the matter is if we're not protecting the company by loading the inquiries, they could make a legitimate beef that they should be paid lifetime passive residual income on a lead that they really and truly didn't deserve. I'm gonna say this real quick. We don't want to do matchmaking. I ask you. That's like the crime of our company is when a leader, someone who does interviews, would call up one of their friend ambassadors and try to give them credit on a level one. I say this: it's good enough as it stands. It is very generous. It's really, really high payout. And so I know sometimes they'll follow up and they find out they're interviewing virtual and they'll start saying good things, and we might think that they deserve it. They don't under this plan. We appreciate it, but under this plan, you've got to click that red button. Enough about that. Let's go back to this real quick as well. Go back to the inquiries. Click right here. Now we're in the notes. I think it's always click to put show full details. Again, this is how we change that there. The inquiry status. Then we want to, you can look at inquiry summary by looking at the the updates. Updates is good. A lot of times, sometimes you'll just see everything that's done on that. This is where you'll see the comments that you've made. So every time you make a call or make some sort of attempt to contact, put a little comment, real short, boom, 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 boom. Click save and post and be done with it. Then we also have activities. So you add an event, and the most popular event is going to be an interview. This is where you would set your interview. This is where you might set up a call or a meeting and so forth. So you put the date and time and put the subject. My understanding is this will email you, and then you can even add some to-dos. This is not part of what I really want to go over today. I just want to let you know that the main thing I want to go over is how you start every day and how you can work down this entire pipeline. Well, thank you, and I hope you use this in this manner. I think if you use it in this manner, you'll definitely stay on top of things. And please work from left to right and then up and down, from top to bottom on this inquiry status. Thank you, and good luck.